So what do we mean by stress? Anyone has any idea? Yes.
I have no idea what stress is, but I know the answer for being de-stressed, and you go for desserts, spelled backwards.
I think having too much desserts will stress us. So my motto in terms of dessert is to dessert the desserts. Anyway, stress is something that is in a continuum, right? So if you are up here, then too much, you'll be stressed, right? But on the other hand, if you're down here, too little, you'll also be stressed. You'll be bored and, stodgy and lethargic. So what you want is at this optimum level, right? So this is the challenge. Not too much, not too little. But what are the factors that decide whether it's going to be too much or too little, right? So that's a big question. And Americans and Malaysians think differently about that, right? Let me give you some ideas about how Malaysians think first. So with Malaysians, well, it was in fact a German by the name of Freud. You probably heard. No, it's Sigmund, yes. It's the most quoted psychologist and psychiatrist in the world. So Freud said something quite interesting. He said, give me a child of 4 years old, and I will be able to tell you how he or she is going to die. Okay, quite an interesting statement. And there's a lot of truth in that we still recognize today. So what it means is most of the blueprints of our behavior have been formulated by the time we are 4 years old. Right? That is very powerful. And this has a big implication between Malaysians and Americans. How Malaysians do the parenting. Okay? So for Malaysian parents, yeah, it's about mainly how many A's you get. Very demanding, and for some it's even you get whacked. This is normal. How many of us still remember, we were brought up with the rock times and all that, and you went by the teacher. Yeah. So that's a normal state of affair. In America, you'll be reported for child abuse if you do that, right? And the other one is, yeah, guilt-inducing. Grandfather's story, our parents would tell us. So these are the environment that most of us are brought up under. And of course, for many of us, our parents are no longer around, right? But this set of environments have been imprinted in us, and they are the stress that we continue to impose on ourselves, right? So the guilt-inducing parents calling, right? So this set of parents, even though they are no longer around, they have nevertheless been internalized by us. So we ourselves are continuously giving ourselves stress. Yeah, that's where we are not good enough. We need to do better. Why are we relaxing? So this continuous stress is the difference between Malaysians and Americans. Americans don't have that. You know, you want to play in the freeway, go. Chill, you know. This is how American children are brought up. No guilt, no demand from the parents, so they don't have that sort of stress. In fact, it's the opposite for Americans. You know, they overindulge themselves. You know, most Americans are obese these days. So their stress is from the other angle of something we call oxidative stress. Stress of too much junk in the body, from McDonald's, from Starbucks, and all this. I think someone is getting very stressed out.
Stress.
Right. So that is the difference. So recognizing this would require different type of treatment and management. So in Malaysia, the way we deal with this type of internalized parental stress is through psychotherapy. Right? We have a therapy called schema therapy, which we have developed by using various empty chairs to separate, to create a disassociation between our own what we call vulnerability, right, on the one hand, and the critical voice part in us, which is giving us stress. So in our treatment, we separate that out. Okay, so that we will recognize and are able to put aside those very stressful voice in our head. Okay, so that's what we do in Malaysia. In the center I'm working at, in the International Psychology Center, I have personally gone to America quite a number of times to observe their techniques. Right. Just last year I went to Los Angeles at the Evolution of Psychotherapy conference, which they hold every 3 years. And unlike Malaysian conference, these are like attended by over 5,000 therapists. It's a huge conference, and the whole school in psychology attend. And I learned a few things from them, right? So they recognize the epidemic of oxidative stress that they have in the body, right? So now some of the latest things that they've come up with is ways to deal with this stress. And I think my computer will be arriving soon, and if it arrives on time, I will show you a video, okay, of how a patient, she can barely talk and walk through so much stress, that she's in fact suffering from Parkinson's disease, which is the epidemia in which is on epidemic proportion in America, and Alzheimer's. And yet, through this treatment modality of reversing oxidative stress, that a colleague of mine from America, Dr. Marty Hinz, has developed, she was able to get totally reversed. Okay, that's I mean, you can just go to YouTube and go to parkinsonsclinics.com, and you will see the testimony of Christy. She documents her progress, right? From hardly being able to speak and walk to full recovery, full permanent recovery. And it's amazing. So these are some of the treatments that the Americans have come up with in dealing with the stress, which is more arise as an insult on the body from the type of junk food that they've been exposed to. Unfortunately, we in the developing country are following suit, the American way. Okay, we give up mother's milk to buy all sorts of junks and formula milk, and we drink Coke instead of good quality water that we have, and so we are following so that's the big irony. We are following the Americans in terms of the stress insult that we are getting onto our body, and in terms of the stress-related disease of Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, we are also following getting there. Okay, and it's going to cost us a great deal economically. Right? So we need therefore to learn also from the Americans how to deal with this bodily oxidative stress. Okay, so stress affects our mind as well as our body. Okay, and it is an unfortunate events, created by René Descartes, many centuries ago, who split up the mind and the body. Okay, the mind and the body are intimately connected, and you may even say are one. Right? So if we can put that back together, what affects our body will affect our mind, and what affects our mind will affect our body. We will be able to deal with stress in a much better way, and that's the lessons we can learn from both Malaysia and America. Right? So personally, I've incorporated both ways, and I use both ways for the treatment of my patients. Right? So I am, getting to about 55 years old, and yet I feel like in my 20s, and I expect to be like Mahathir. He's shown a great example to live actively in good quality for many years, beyond 100 species, right? So this is what we managed to do, and I believe we can all do the same, all right? And it starts with our diet, right? As the father of medicine said, let food be your medicine, all right? So we have unfortunately adopted many unnatural practices in terms of food. Okay, our ancestors, for example, did not have farming, right? Farming existed only, a couple hundred years old. So our body, for example, are not evolved to deal with that, right? So eating rice, for example, every day is very stressful. So so my computer has arrived finally. So do you want to see this video? I can show you. It takes about 5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'll show you this video by American doctor Marty Hinz on treating this patient. So load up the video, and I'll continue talking. So one of the treatment for this patient, for example, is something called ketogenic diet. Anyone heard of ketogenic diet? Anyone heard of ketones? My fellow council member would have know about this because we have any great dinner, and I will always refuse all the rice and carbohydrates, right? If you really remember. Yeah. So basically, our body have two sources of fuel. Our brain needs fuel to stay alert, to distress. All right. And the easiest source of fuel, of course, is sugar and carbohydrates, right? But the problem with that is it causes inflammation. It causes a lot of free radicals, and it will give you all sorts of stress to the body and to the brain. Yeah. So this is the fastest way to get Alzheimer's and Parkinson by eating rice every day. One bowl of rice is equivalent to like 10 or 20 cubes of sugar, right? So I've given up eating rice for God knows how many years, right? And so what we need to do is to do a fuel switch, like from diesel to high power petrol, okay? So from sugar to ketones. And this is what our ancestors survived on. Our ancestors were hunters-gatherers. What do you call hunter-gatherers, right? So on days and end that they might not see an animal, right? So that they would be fasting and surviving on ketones. Okay, ketones come from fats, and they're only produced when there's no sugar in the body. All right. So 80% of my diet is from fat, animal fats, nuts, avocado, 80%. And yet, I have a picture on my slide to show you my 6 packs, right? And I don't get fat, even though I eat fat, consisting of 80% of my diet. And the reason for this is because I don't take sugar. Right? I don't even take fruits, okay, apart from a few berries and lemon. So that is a trick. We need to do a fuel switch, right, from sugar to ketones, and that would be able to help us manage stress beautifully most of the time. And I do intermittent fasting every day. Okay, my last meal, apart from tonight where we will have enjoy a great dinner later, but normally by 6 o'clock I'm done with my dinner. All right, and then in the morning I got up, I play a few really energetic game of tennis, right, before I go and see my patient, and I only break my fast around 2-3 o'clock. So I keep like 13-15 hours, where I produce ketones, and I have amazing energy in the morning, playing tennis and everything, see my patients, my brain is working optimally. So I manage on ketones, right? So intermittent fasting is something that our ancestors do, and I highly recommend that for you. We don't need to do like many days of fasting, but we can do that every day. Just have an early dinner and have a late breakfast, and you can enjoy most of the other things, Only the dessert is the thing that you need to be a bit careful on. I can take some questions if any one of you have any questions at this stage while we're waiting for the video to load up. Yes?
Did I hear you correctly?
Yes.
When you said that 80% of your diet
is from fat. Yeah, you're correct.
Could you elaborate what kind of fats?
Yeah, animal fats, and as well as I will. My lunch consists of peanut butter.
Oh.
Like a quarter of jar of peanut butter. But peanut butter, I got this Australian brand of peanut butter that has no sugar, all right, and no bad oil, right, and just no bread, of course, just straight peanut butter, some walnuts, a lot of omega-3 eggs, some avocado, and some sprouts, that's my lunch, right? So my lunch is around 2 o'clock.
How about say meat fat, beef fat?
Yeah, beef fat or animal
pork
fat.
fat,
Those are
animal fat.
good. Those are good. No issues on that. Yeah. Yes, please. Am I taking what? Protein. Yes. So in my diet, protein is around 17%. That's all. Not too much. Around 17%. So my carbohydrates is less than 30 grams a day. It's only about 3% of my total diet. Okay. So in terms of vegetables, I don't take any vegetable with roots. Any vegetables grow under the ground is a no-no. So no carrots, no potato, all those are too starchy.
That's weird.
Just a few leaves.
That's quite weird. Yeah, so sometimes the diet depends on the lifestyle.
You want to?
No, diet sometimes depends on the lifestyle. You know, there are many people, you're talking about ancestors, which culture you're from, I'm not sure. Like last year I came back from India. You know, some of my relatives, you know, they've been living for 90 years also. Their daily diet is rice. It depends on your lifestyle actually. Like a soldier, you need you know, that kind of food. So you know, it depends. It's very subjective because each body has its own metabolism.
Yeah. To answer that, our common ancestors were all hunters gatherers. Yeah. So now of course, you know, we have different regions and all that, you know, we have evolved from that. But our common ancestors, they were all hunter gatherers. As hunter gatherers, you don't get to catch your hunt your animals every day, right? You know, in a few days you might be able to catch some animals. So our body evolved through utilizing ketones, right, rather than sugar. You know, it's not on a daily basis we find fruits. You know, depends on the season and things, right? So now, yes, of course, we have different regions and yeah, but in
Depends on the lifestyle.
yeah.
At the age of 60, a friend of ours, Lieutenant Colonel John from Australia, and till now I can't take you know, overtake him. At the age of 59, he can do 2.4 kilometers in less than 11 minutes.
Right.
Because he been eating all type of food.
Yeah. Anyone has any other questions? Yes.
What are your triglycerides and cholesterol levels like?
You were asking about cholesterol.
Yeah, because you're eating fats.
Yeah. Okay. So this is another. I run a laboratory in Malaysia. You can go to the website. It's called malaysialaboratory.com, and from there you can see all sort of lab tests, including our cholesterol test. So cholesterol is not the issue. LDL, HDL, those are not the issue. All right. So the issue is something called the subfractions. How small and dense the cholesterol is. How small and dense is your LDL? How small and dense is your HDL? The smaller and denser it is, the more it will block your artery. Right? So my cholesterol is extremely high. But then when I do my my own lab tests on the subfraction, what we call the subfraction LDL and the subfraction HDL, they are all very large and fluffy. So I don't worry about my cholesterol. We need good cholesterol, high cholesterol to make hormones and brain chemicals called neurotransmitters. All right, so cholesterol is never an issue for me. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, can we play the video? Yeah. So this is a patient of Marty Hines, American. He used to hold the patent of 7 antidepressants. Yeah, until one of his nephew committed suicide. All right, can you put up the volume? You want to put it there? years of stress from poor diet.
And I have a hard time talking because my tongue doesn't work, and I'm exhausted talking again. My teeth have a hard time chewing because they forgot to chew. I can walk short distances, but I can't stand because of my leg shaking. And so I'm documenting this because I'm going to reverse it, and I want on the before and after. Thanks. Okay, my name is Christine Mullins. Today's December 2016, and it's the 14th. I have Parkinson's, and
This is what Muhammad Ali
been
had
trying to do this
Yeah.
test.
They can be treated. They shouldn't.
At the doctor's office, but I can't do very well. My neck doesn't hold up. It's weak. I have a hard time talking because my tongue doesn't work. I can't do my hair, which is why it's horrible because I can't even do it. And going up here, both my feet shake, and I can't stand right. Use a wheelchair. I can walk to the bathroom and back to my chair, but that's about all I can do. And so I'm just documenting it. I'm so exhausted from shaking that I thought to find something that it would help me right away. That's all.
So now she's treated by Marty Hines, right? American amazing doctor.
It's November
it's a treatment.
Same woman.
Same woman.
Same woman. Just a few months after treatment.
my Parkinson's that I was diagnosed with
Permanent cure.
7 years ago. And I have found
Unbelievable, huh?
therapy
So
that
perfect
I'm
for
doing,
beauty,
and
isn't it?
I've been doing it for 20 weeks.
Hmm?
And I'm just wanting to show where I'm at. I can
Oh,
pretty much hold still.
so what is the treatment?
My hands.
Just a few can we go to parents like a brain.
Changing,
I'm not
huh?
shaking
Yeah.
my legs. I'm releasing. I'm not shaking. And I can walk. And I can smile. My face works.
Oh,
I can do the
ridiculous.
chest menu. I still shake a little bit. Before I started the therapy, I had a hard time breathing, the electrical signals to breathe, to chew. I couldn't pull up my head. My head was on my chest all the time. My daughter had to feed me. I would cry and try and pull up my pants, and I was in a wheelchair. I had to go anywhere. And now I can do most things. I still have a hard time doing anything, small, like chopping food or hanging up clothes. And so it hasn't taken away all the symptoms, but it's taken away about 70%. But I can survive now. I can live, and I can feed myself, and I can walk around, and I can't drive because I'm still a little shaky, but I can go to the store, which I couldn't do before. And so my hair, I can take a shower. I couldn't take a shower before. So I was to the point of not surviving, and now I can have a pretty good living.
Yeah,
How long was the treatment?
just a few months.
Just a few
Yeah,
months.
just a couple of months. So the message is we can prevent ourselves from getting to that stress level in the first place. And even if we are at that level, it can be reversed back. It can be reversed back through diet, through nutritional therapy, you know, and then some psychotherapy. So it's all can be done. And we will have all the lab tests here in Malaysia. So you just go to our website if you're interested, and you know, I've just collaborated with Dr. Ling on getting the. So this is the website, you know, with Dr. Ling for Coursera. Go to the link after that. Yeah, you know, most of the nutritional medicine is there. And then if you want the lab test, you know, don't go antidepressants. Yeah, you can go to the lab that can get all your brain chemicals and everything tested. All right. So thank you very much.
Yeah, let's give a big hand to Dr. Gupta. Well, thank you, Dr. Gupta. I think that's been really illuminating, you know, and most interesting to listen to you. And I think you summarized it in a very simple way, a very important, you know, aspect of how we maintain a healthy lifestyle. Yeah? So thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have just about come